attention to politics now, and the ANC will continue disciplinary hearings into former Gauteng Health MEC Bandile Masuku and presidential spokesperson Khusela Diko. That's continuing today, we understand. Action being taken against the two for their alleged role in dodgy PPE deals. The Gauteng ANC says it expects a decision later this month. But where are we on all of this? Siphamandla Goge, my colleague, following the proceedings, joining us for the very latest now. Siphamandla, good morning to you. The Khusela Diko and Bandile Masuku hearing, I understand it underway. Is that confirmed?
It started yesterday, Gareth, and it will run through up until the 12th, which is next week. It's been long coming. It's been postponed several times, but the ANC secretary in Gauteng, Jacob Kawe, did confirm that it started yesterday. It sat down for yesterday. It was set down for yesterday and today, and then they will take a break, come back next week to continue with the proceedings. Our viewers will recall that Khusela Diko and Bandile Masuku are members of the Provincial Executive Committee of the ANC in Gauteng. So after the PPE scandal allegations were leveled against them, they were then asked to step aside a bit from the ANC PEC duties, and the party decided that it was going to discipline them for bringing the party into disrepute. They are facing that main charge, which is bringing the ANC into disrepute. There are other several charges that emanate from the main charge, but those have to do with what they did after they were accused of their alleged involvement in the PPE scandal. How and when did they tell the party how they conducted themselves? But let's listen to Jacob Kawe explaining how everything is set down.
And then continue next week Saturday, and they will prepare their report after the 13th, and will come back, I'm sure, before the 20th of February with the decisions of the DC.
All right, so very much underway at the moment, but this DC was marred by a number of delays, wasn't it? Any idea why?
Indeed, and I think they have to do with what the two accused PEC members asked. So they asked the Provincial Executive Committee of the ANC, which asked them to take a break for a while. They asked them to furnish them with documents to prepare for the DC. You know, they asked them to supply them with information, material, and the documentation they used to come to a Provincial Executive Committee decision or resolution to ask them to step aside so that they can formulate their response, and then they can be able to argue during their DC based on the documentation and information that they would have received from the PEC. So we understand that this DC was meant to happen last year. It did not happen even in December. It was meant to happen, but it was postponed last minute because all parties couldn't agree. Khusela Diko and Bandile Masuku and their legal representatives were asking the Provincial Executive Committee of the ANC in Gauteng to say, please furnish us with the documentation and everything we need to prepare for this. So they had to postpone, and then they had to consult in that regard. The PEC of the ANC in Gauteng is of the view that it has furnished them with all the material they required, but Khusela Diko and Bandile Masuku are still of the view that they have not been given everything that they need to prepare for this DC. Jacob Kawe explains.
We have furnished them with almost all what we think should be given to them, and we could not furnish them with one detail they wanted, because we think that the minutes of the PEC are sufficient for any decision or discussion. But the rest of the document they have also furnished us with the proof of membership of their legal representatives, and we're okay. So where we are, we think we're all ready to start a fair disciplinary process.
All right, so that has already started. Siphamandla, any idea of when the outcome of the DC will take place?
Jacob Kawe, who is the Secretary of the ANC in Gauteng, says by the end of February, around February 24, they hope that they will have everything ready. They would have concluded this. They say it's in the best interest of all those accused for this matter to be concluded together with the organization or the party in Gauteng. This matter has been dragging for a very long time. ANC members in Gauteng want it finalized, but also those accused, they have been calling for a speedy resolution of the matter. Jacob Kawe saying they are hoping that by the 23rd or the 24th of February they will be done. But the ANC constitution prescribes that in this case they should be done by at least the end of March. Jacob Kawe saying, well, that's a constitutional directive, but they will be done before that. Listen to him.
End of March, it's constitutional. We don't have a choice. We must have finished. If the DC can finish before, we'll celebrate. It will be good even for members. It will be good for the organization that we have finished the process within the required constitutional mechanisms. But the end of March should be, no matter how, we should be done.
All right, so Siphamandla, just before I say goodbye to you, let's talk about the status of Diko and Masuku. What is their status in the ANC Gauteng PEC?
They remain Provincial Executive Committee members, even though they were asked not to continue attending meetings after, or should I say, before this DC is finalized. So they are not happy with that. We understand. Our sources who are close to both of them have told us that they did not take that kindly or lightly. They are saying they've been prevented from attending PEC meetings. They claim that, or they say that is illegal and unconstitutional. But previously we have asked Jacob Kawe to clarify their status. Of course, they remain members of the Provincial Executive Committee. It's just that they were asked not to attend meetings of the PEC pending the finalization of their DC.